All right, 97.7 Outlaw Radio FM listeners, you already know what time it is, and right here, right now, we actually got the one and only, we got one half of a legendary Canadian duo. We got Rupert of In-Dex right here on 97.7. How are you doing this evening?
I'm good, my brother. How are you, man?
I'm doing great, man. How's everything out there in Toronto, man? I gotta say, like, this heat wave is definitely taking over Ontario like crazy.
Yeah, it's been hot, man, but you know what? It's better than the cold sometimes, man. I'm enjoying this weather for sure.
And also, I know you're a busy guy, man, so I'm going to dive right into this interview, but I have to ask you, man, what actually inspired you to get into the music industry initially? Because you're such a gifted songwriter and singer.
You know what? From ever since I was 5 years old, I always loved music, man. I was listening to the Jackson 5 and all that, and I knew that I wanted to be a writer. You know, I just knew it from then. I just loved singing and writing, you know?
And also, as well, as I mentioned at the beginning of the intro, like, you know, you were actually one half of the legendary Canadian duo In-Dex. I was wondering, how did yourself and Len Grant get connected? And of course, what's the story behind that iconic duo?
Oh, you know what? A few years ago in the 80s, I should say, we basically wanted to do a project, and we were signed to a record label called Big Shot Records. And, you know, Len and I just wanted to work on a project and try something different. And we came up with the concept of In-Dex, which one of the songs became an anthem in the rave scene in England back in the 80s. And then it crossed over into Brazil and became just legendary in that sound, you know, with a mix of freestyle and synth pop. So that started the whole thing, and the Brazil fans are just awesome out there, man. It's been crazy.
And I've heard that a lot as well. That unfortunately, like before you actually get really big in your home country, you get big overseas and whatnot, man. I really wish us Canadians sometimes can actually soak in the greatness before everybody else does.
Yeah, it's weird like that, but you know, Canada has been good, you know, because this is home, and you know the fans are here too, and I'm blessed with that. But I think sometimes, you know, you got to go out overseas to get appreciated, you know, before hometown. But that's all good, man. It's just the way life is sometimes.
And also, as well, in 1991, you guys actually released the album titled Now You're Gone. I was wondering if you can tell our listeners the story and inspiration behind that phenomenal record, because I gotta say, that's an absolute Canadian classic.
Yeah, the song was basically written out of true experience, you know, that happened in my life, and I just wanted to write a song about it. Because the first single was Give Me a Sign, and, you know, the second single up was Now You're Gone. That really took off in Brazil. The Brazilian fans really love that song, man. They're even playing it right now after over 30 years, and it's just remained a classic over there for sure, and in the southern states in America. So that's awesome, man.
And I gotta say, my favorite song off that record will always be Give Me a Sign. Always my go-to when I listen to that record.
Oh, yeah, for sure. That's a classic. That was actually the first single that we released, and that's the one that did great in the dance and rave scene in London, England, and across the U.S. too, you know. It's such a great song. Like, I can't believe people are still playing that song and loving it up till now, you know. It's so awesome, brother.
And especially as well, because this year that record actually turned 30 years old, so it just proves that music is really timeless.
Oh, yeah, for sure, man, for sure. I always believe in writing songs that, you know, can resonate for years with people, you know. And it's always just finding the right topic that hits home with everyone, you know. And people always are into a situation about love, and that song is about love and all that. So it resonates still today with everyone, and I feel great about that.
And also as well, 2 years later in 1993, you actually released your solo album titled Time Is Right. I was wondering, what actually made you decide to bring out a solo project? And of course, like, is that record still available to be listened to today?
You know what, like, I've always been a lover of R&B music, and I decided, you know, to do an R&B record. I was actually signed to A&M Records in the 90s when I did that record. And the record came out. I won a Juno Award in 93 for that record, which was such an amazing experience for me. And, you know, I just really wanted to show a different side of me vocally. You know, that's why I did that record.
And I got to say as well, I know I'm quite a years late on this, but congratulations on that Juno, man. That, for people that don't know the Junos, that is pretty much a Canadian Grammy, man. If you win a Juno in Canada, you definitely made it.
Yeah, that's it. Exactly. Actually, I have two of those under my belt. I had wrote a song for an artist named Q Benjamin that actually won a Juno for Best R&B with a song that I co-wrote called Stars. And so I got two of those under my belt, and that's awesome. I love that.
And I can tell you for a fact, you know what I mean, number 3 is definitely on its way.
Yeah, thank you, man. Thank you. I appreciate that.
And also as well, you actually had the opportunity to write and produce for the legendary Shawn Desmond. I was wondering, how did that opportunity arise? And of course, what was it like just working alongside Shawn?
I was working with a team called PA, Perry Alexander, and Shawn was one of the artists that was under their belt. So I had the chance to work with him. Shawn is a great guy, and I basically wrote on his sophomore record that he put out that was signed to BMG at the time, I think it was. And it was just an amazing experience working with Shawn. Shawn is a great vocalist and a great guy. I enjoyed working with him a lot.
And I gotta ask, if you don't, did you write like majority of his record, or like did you actually have writing credits throughout the entire project?
I actually wrote a single on one of the songs on his record, one of the singles. So it wasn't the whole record I did, but I worked with him a lot on some other projects that I did, like Keisha Shantae's record, I should say. We co-wrote a song that was big for her called Bad Boys, and that song really blew up and was a #1 single here in Canada.
And also as well, another phenomenal individual you had the opportunity to work with was actually the very first Canadian Idol winner, Ryan Malcolm. I was actually wondering, like, how did that opportunity arise to work with Ryan? And of course, what was it like just being in the studio with him?
Oh, that was great. Basically, I was working with a lot of artists on BMG Records, and they were the one that had the whole Canadian Idol thing going on. So I got a call saying that they want a single for the first Canadian Idol. So they called me in, and I basically co-wrote that song, a song called Something More, which was the very first Canadian Idol song ever in Canada, and it was a platinum record here. So that was awesome working on that.
And also as well, I gotta say, it's sad that Canadian Idol went away, man. I really enjoyed the Canadian version of just Idol. I really thought that brought a lot to the Canadian music culture.
Oh yeah, I actually ended up writing another Canadian Idol single, and that was one called Awake in a Dream with an artist called Kaylin Porter, and that was my work too also.
And also as well, you have actually won numerous SOCAN #1 awards. I was wondering, how many SOCAN awards have you actually received? And of course, can you tell us a bit more about that? Because SOCAN is another phenomenal company here in Canada that does a lot for the music industry.
Oh yeah, I actually have 4 SOCAN awards that I won for #1 singles. I have the one with Rex Gowdy, a song called Run, and I have one with another artist that was a hit too, and I have a few more from the Canadian Idol stuff that I did also.
And also as well, July 6th of 2021, you actually released your brand new single titled Oxygen that I'm actually going to be playing immediately after this interview for the live radio station audience, man. But I was wondering, for the people that haven't heard it, can you tell us a little bit more about this phenomenal song? And of course, where can we buy or stream it today?
Oh, okay. Oxygen was basically a song that I wrote with a friend of mine, who's a great producer. His name is Richard Rodwell, a.k.a. Xenon. That's his production name. And we also had a great producer, engineer that mixed and engineered the song called Bobby Morales. And the song was basically inspired by the pandemic COVID thing that was happening in the world. So I just wanted to kind of write a song and speak on that and kind of, play on what's going on in the world. And the song just came out amazing. And it's available on iTunes and all your other
And I gotta say as well, this song is absolutely phenomenal. Like, I've been listening to it throughout all day today. I gotta say, it's very addictive.
Oh yeah, it's a great song. I love it too. Also, a lot of fans really love it.
But I gotta ask Rupert, what is next for you, man? Like, is there anything we happen to miss? Anything else you still want to talk about or promote? Well, we still have you here live on the Canadian airwaves this evening.
After the pandemic, I basically went in the studio, and I'm basically working on a lot of new material coming out soon. I did a whole album for In-Dex, and it's going to be released in the new year. So I'm just working on that right now and trying to get that together and getting it ready to drop soon. So hopefully that'll be ready soon, and we'll be hearing that in the future, man.
I gotta say, it's definitely refreshing just to know we got some brand new music from you coming, man. I'm definitely excited to hear what you actually cooked up during this terrible pandemic.
This record is going to be amazing, man. It's just an influence of a lot of things musically that I'm listening to. You know, me and my friend Richard Rodwell, Xenon, we have different tastes in music, so we went in the studio and we basically put a lot of ideas together, and this record is just going to be phenomenal. So I want the world to know that it's going to be awesome and wait for it. You know, it's going to be crazy.
And like they always say, good things come to those who wait. So I think us fans definitely can sit back patiently and wait for this phenomenal project.
Oh, thank you, my brother. Thank you so much.
But also, this is the time in the interview that I give a chance for the individual that slides into the radio station airwaves, just a chance to give like shout-outs to whomever they want to give shout-outs to. But most of all, man, your social media handles. That way our listeners can follow you and stay updated on everything yourself and what you got going on presently and of course in the future as well.
Okay, yeah. I just want to shout out to my boys, like I said, Richard Rodwell, Xenon, Bobby Morales, all my fans in Brazil, the U.S., worldwide. Just want to say thank you for the support, and we'll be putting out some new stuff, and can't wait to share it with the world, man. Thank you.
And I gotta say, first and foremost, Rupert, thank you so much for just amazing music throughout 30 plus years, and most definitely thank you in advance for more music that's on the way. Us fans definitely appreciate it, and of course, thank you for just providing us with a little bit of your time this evening and coming on my radio station.
No problem, man. Thank you for the invite, man, and just thank you again, man. I appreciate everything you're doing for me, bro.
You are most certainly welcome, and anytime, anything you need radio-wise, don't hesitate to reach out. You always got a home here on Outlaw Radio FM.
I appreciate that, brother. Thank you for the interview, man. I appreciate it.
You are most certainly welcome. Have yourself a wonderful night.
Thank you, bro. Thank you.